Hey, what's up, my dude? How's it going? Man, what would you do if you were forced to marry the person you hate the most? Yeah, that's right, bro. That's exactly what this guy here is being forced to do. What's going to happen in these two episodes is totally different, bro. This goes from a romantic comedy to a horror movie between the two of them. But even these two who can't stand each other manage to have a cute little moment together, you know? Stay tuned, bro. I'll fill you in on everything that went down in these two episodes. It starts with Akane sneaking up to talk to the protagonist. She rented this weird 24-hour movie of cute kitten scenes, and she wants to watch it with him. The two of them seem to be getting along better now, and in this case, the protagonist actually decides to give in. She's amazed, watching the movie, but Saito falls asleep pretty quickly. I can't even blame you, man. Can you imagine having to watch that all by yourself? Come on, give me a break. But in the end, since he agreed to watch the movie with her, she agrees to play some video games with him in return. They're playing together, chilling, and the protagonist starts thinking that it's not so bad having her there with him like that. It's actually kind of fun. When they're about to lie down, they start talking about how, since they're married, it makes sense to call each other by their first names. The Japanese have this thing about using first names, right? They get all embarrassed calling each other by first names, but once they start, they just keep going, right? The next day at school, they seem to be getting along a little better, and Himari asks why they're not attacking each other like usual. Akane says nothing happened. And then Himari casually says that they're getting along now. And without thinking, Akane quickly says that she'll never get along with Saito. Yeah, hold up there, girl. It's a little early to be saying that, don't you think? She accidentally calls him by his first name, and Himari wonders if they've always called each other like that, or if it's something new. Akane freaks out and immediately bolts out of the room, claiming she's late for something random. Later, the two of them plan to go to the store. I don't know what goes through her head, but she's kind of obsessed with markets and sales. She sees a sale sign, and she's already in the middle of the crowd, getting pushed back. The protagonist, not wasting any time, says, "I'm going with you, I've got your back, bro." He jumps right into the crowd, clearly ready to roll with it. Unfortunately, that little sale didn't work out for them. But hey, it happens. Later that night, Akane wakes up and sees the protagonist, this psycho, just staring at her out of nowhere. She freaks out, thinking he's some kind of maniac, and she's definitely not safe with him around the house. So she immediately asks what the hell he's doing. The protagonist tries to explain that she looked so cute. Wait, hold up. I mean, she looked adorable while sleeping, really? Let's get that straight. He says all he was doing was admiring her while she slept. And then, unable to resist, he gives her cheek a little tap. Uh-huh, right. Sure, dude. You were wanting something else, weren't you? Who are you fooling? But luckily for our protagonist, she's not mad, and even lets him sneak a little glance before she falls asleep again. Their exams are coming up, and Akane decides she's going to lock herself in her room and study until she can't anymore. But since our protagonist is a genius man, with a photographic memory of everything he sees, he doesn't even need to try to get a perfect score, bro. I'm so jealous. Seriously. God definitely has his favorites, man. No doubt about it. Akane is working her ass off trying to study and do well in the exams, and all the protagonist can do to help her is bring her snacks while she's studying. But after all that effort, she ends up getting really sick with a fever, totally wiped out. The protagonist tries his best to take care of her, but the situation just keeps getting worse. Then he makes the sensible decision to say, "No, I'm calling an ambulance. We're going to the hospital." But the girl is stubborn and refuses, saying it's not necessary. Stubborn as hell. Meanwhile, she's getting worse, right? Our protagonist ignores the fact that she's being stubborn and doesn't want to go, and tries to call a taxi to take her anyway. But the taxi doesn't show up. He can't get one. So then he goes full-on night mode, picks her up in his arms, and just runs with her. No hesitation, man. Yeah, bro, the guy's a total gentleman. Forget everything else. If he hasn't won her over by now, I'm telling you, this is GG. It's done, man. It's over. This is GG. In the end, everything turns out fine, and the next day she's feeling much better and glowing. Enough to feel a little jealous of the protagonist at school when he's chatting with Himari. Yeah, bro, I told you. If you hadn't won her over by now, it's GG. Game over. She makes a jealous face, straight up saying that he shouldn't be flirting with other girls. That now he's married and has a wife, and the protagonist can only think that these days, for some reason, the only thing running through his mind is that his wife is adorable. Akane starts following the protagonist around at school in the morning. The guy, worried that she might kill him over last night, just bolts and runs off. But the truth is, all she wanted to give him was the lunch she made for him, and he forgot it at home. She's a little pissed off, thinking he didn't want to eat what she made. But in reality, he's quick to say, No, it's not like that at all. He's super happy she made something for him to eat. She's a bit embarrassed, but the protagonist scores another point. When the two of them sit down to eat, everyone notices that their lunches are exactly the same. identical. And now they all start thinking something's off. They're talking, shocked, saying, "No way, dude, this is just a coincidence." And that's when the suspicion starts that the two of them are, in fact, dating. And they're getting more and more surrounded by it. It's at that moment that the protagonist's sister shows up to save the day and eats his lunch, to help cover up the evidence. Yeah, alright man. The girl's a bottomless pit and she's just throwing that line. Himari even gets a little suspicious. After that, she goes to talk to Saito to find out if Akane really made his lunch, asking if they're actually dating for real. But he immediately denies it. Oh man, you have no idea. Dating is an understatement. Although, there hasn't been any kissing yet, so maybe it's still up in the air, right? Then, later that night, they get a terrifying visit. Akane feels something while she's sleeping. And when she wakes up in the middle of the night, she sees a shadow, right there in the room, staring at them while they sleep. That's when she freaks out and wakes up the protagonist by screaming, "Are you crazy, dude? If that thing was in my room, I wouldn't sleep a wink in this house." She's there, scared out of her mind, telling Saito that she saw a ghost. The protagonist simply couldn't care less. He just goes, "Yeah, sure, whatever," rolls over and goes back to sleep. The guy doesn't have an ounce of fear, but Akane won't let him sleep. No way. She stays on top of him. Every little noise she hears, man, she's freaking out in fear. Now, I'm not saying I condone anything, but that was the protagonist's chance to take advantage. Pull her in close, you know? But go on. Let's see if the virgin's gonna do it. Nah, he won't. Akane is so scared that she can't stay alone in any room of the house. She just follows Saito around wherever he goes, giving the excuse that she's keeping an eye on him so nothing happens. Yeah, right, whatever. She won't even let him stay outside when she's taking a shower. She makes him stand guard outside while she's in there. The girl's so scared that she freaks out just because he doesn't answer whether he's there or not, and she runs out of the bathroom to check. Then we cut to a scene at school, where Saito's talking to his sister. He's sharing what's going on at home, that Akane's shaking like a leaf because she thinks she saw a ghost last night. And Shinsei, being the best little sister in the world, says she's going to help them sort this out. She decides to do some bizarre seance or whatever it is, and clearly in the end, it's all just pretending. She says she needs to go to the house to check out firsthand what kind of evil spirits are lurking around them. Back at the house, she starts rummaging around, playing the part of a paranormal expert. But when she gets to their room, where Akane really saw the ghost, she already knows exactly what happened. She analyzes the whole environment and decides she's figured it out. The ghost Akane saw wasn't anything more or less than herself. Yep, this psycho even dares to claim a dinner for herself for solving the problem. But seriously, this girl's messing with them. Saito's already playing along, asking if she thinks that makes sense. But she has an ace up her sleeve and says all she really wanted was to eat Akane's amazing food, which gets the girl to fall perfectly into her trap. And, to nobody's surprise, she finally gets what she wants. Akane goes ahead and prepares a huge dinner for everyone, just the way Shinsei wanted. After dinner, she ends up staying over to sleep. She plays video games, does whatever she wants, because she has both of them wrapped around her finger, man. She even teases Akane, saying she wants to take a shower with the protagonist. She even goes as far as saying they always shower together. And the protagonist tries to calm things down a little, saying that it's not always that they shower together, and that it's been happening less often lately. Yeah, you little rascal. It's been less frequent, but it hasn't stopped, has it? Man, things have definitely gotten pretty messed up here. You're crazy. Akane gets super embarrassed and says that it's only one person at a time, and tells both of them to get out of there and take a shower, man. When it's time to go to bed, Akane starts a conversation with Saito, saying she wished he'd told her he bought the new game, because she wanted to be the first to try it out with him. Saito explains that he didn't want to interrupt her studies, but she says there are also break periods in between, right? But the real truth is, she was actually wanting to try the game with him and do some new stuff, you know? But the clueless protagonist doesn't even realize that. He doesn't even pick up that she's a bit jealous of Shinsei. So, they have a little couples argument. It all ends in peace, with Akane saying that if the day doesn't have a fight between them and she doesn't scold Saito, the day just isn't complete. Then, what's strange is that under the covers, something touches Akane's butt, and then, the protagonist's thigh. Both of them get freaked out, thinking they're being taken advantage of. That's when Shin suddenly pops up in between their covers and tells them to keep it down because she wants to sleep. Bro, when were you even there, man? She even goes as far as saying she'll sleep on the floor so she doesn't disturb them with their married stuff. Yeah, not that it's going to happen, but at least she's sensible, right? Later that night, when Saito's about to go to sleep, Shinsei takes the chance to be straight with Akane. She tells her she can't fool her, clearly seeing that the protagonist is super jealous because she was flirting with Saito right in front of her. But in the end, it was just to confirm that Saito would have someone who truly liked him and make sure he'd be happy during their marriage and his life. But even so, she doesn't waste any time and immediately sticks to him again, bringing on that wave of jealousy for Akane. Yeah, man, looks like things are getting a little more intense between them, huh? If you want to know what's going to happen next, stay tuned so you don't miss the next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos, bro. And leave a like and comment on what went down here, alright? See you in the next video. Later, my dude.